A northeast community left shaken.
I have a little one too, and the girl you are talking about, she used to play with my daughter.
A toddler is dead after being struck down in an alley.
And it just feels like it never ends.
But it is the end for one Marda Loop business, they say, because of ongoing city construction. Plus, repairs and renovations continue.
And come back even stronger than what we were before the storm hit.
Along with reminders of last August's costly hailstorm.
CTV Calgary, local breaking news with Camilla DiGiuseppe.
Good afternoon. The family of a one-year-old girl is reeling after she was struck by a pickup truck and killed in the northeast community of Taradale. Mark Villani is live at police headquarters for us. And Mark, we are learning more details tonight about the young victim.
Camilla, Anahat Gill was just 1 month away from her second birthday. Her family says that she was chasing after a toy in the back alleyway of her home around 7 o'clock Monday night. That's when she was hit by an oncoming white pickup truck that was making a right turn into a blind corner in that alleyway. Now, Gill is described as a pretty talkative, responsible, and curious little girl who always enjoyed playing with others. Her family declined to appear on camera, but says they are devastated, telling us she was struck by the front bumper of that white pickup truck. Police say the driver of the truck, a man in his 30s, headed westward into the alley on the 600 block of Taradale Drive Northeast before making that immediate right turn and hitting the child. He remained on scene and he is cooperating with investigators, but some neighbors had a close connection with this family and they're still in shock.
This is really devastating for us, and because I have a little one too, and the girl you are talking about, she used to play with my daughter every evening. And because you never know, because this is our house, right? And whenever she go back to the lawn area, she probably go back to the area as well, to the back alley, and this could happen to anyone.
Now, Calgary police say so far no charges have been laid in this incident as the investigation continues. But for now, police, again, reminding drivers to slow down in residential areas, pay attention to their surroundings, and also a reminder that in alleyways, the posted speed limit is 15 kilometers per hour. Camilla.
Mark, thank you so much. A motorcyclist in his 40s died when he lost control on Stony Trail by Crowchild Trail Northwest yesterday afternoon. Police say the man was traveling southbound in the middle lane of Stony Trail, which is under construction for repaving. When he changed to the left lane, he was thrown from the bike. Speed, alcohol, and drugs were all not factors in the crash. 2 people were injured after a taxi crash early this morning on Parkdale Boulevard near 27th Street Northwest. It happened at about 4 a.m. A cab heading south collided with a pedestrian signal pole on the center median. The front of the cab was heavily damaged and airbags were deployed. EMS says 2 people were treated at the scene. The intersection was closed for a couple of hours while police investigated. Friends of Carter Spivak Villeneuve's family have started a GoFundMe campaign to help with expenses after he was found dead in Abbeydale early Friday morning. Police say the 16-year-old's death is a homicide. Investigators say around 1:20 a.m. Friday, they were called to Abergale Drive for reports of a person in medical distress. When officers arrived, they found Carter dead. Today, flowers and candles are at the site placed by mourners. Police are asking residents to check their property for anything suspicious and to share any dash cam or security footage with police. Specifically, they are looking for video from midnight to 1:30 a.m. because they believe he was around this area at the time. Anyone with information is asked to call police or Crime Stoppers. And Calgary police have laid charges in a sweeping investigation into nighttime break and enters across the city. 17 people, including 9 people under the age of 18, face more than 100 charges. Police started a task force to look into these incidents. They date back to August of last year, but the most recent have occurred in June, including in the communities of Citadel and Evanston. Police say all 17 people are known to each other. Police say despite these charges, youth crime is trending down.
It's a multitude of issues that that draw youth to crime. You know, there could be some really complex issues within the youth's lives, and maybe stability, you know, housing stability, you know, maybe mental health, addiction, these sorts of things that all kind of, you know, lead into this lifestyle, or there's, you know, some poor, you know, social groups kind of hanging out with, and poor influences.
Investigators plan to engage with the youth charge in this investigation through the Serious Habitual Offender Program, which can monitor up to 80 offenders at any time. A Calgary teenager has been arrested in Saskatoon, accused of drug trafficking in both cities. Back in May, police say a man pointed a firearm at someone while filling up with gas at an Esso station on 68th Street Northeast. Police say they were already investigating the suspect for trafficking and violating court-ordered release conditions. In June, Saskatoon police say they saw the same man dealing drugs, and their tactical team later arrested him. They seized cocaine, cash, and cell phones. 18-year-old Adut Agor faces charges including assault with a weapon. A popular pet store in Marda says it's being forced to shut the doors. The owner of Doodle Dogs on 34th Avenue Southwest says city construction is to blame. Kevin Green is in Marda for us, and Kevin, we can see the construction right behind you.
Camilla, businesses in this area have been warning for months now that many businesses might close because of the ongoing construction. And now it seems to be happening just as construction is coming to a conclusion. Doodle Dogs opened its Marda Loop location 15 months ago, right in the thick of ongoing sidewalk and road construction, but they never expected the length and intensity of the restricted access. The owners say customers couldn't get in, construction crews blocked entrances, and it cost them thousands of dollars a month in losses just to stay open. The store officially closed Tuesday with a handwritten note taped to the door blaming the city of Calgary.
The difficulty is that clients don't know when they can access us. So they might come here one day and they have parking, but then they might come back the next week and they don't. A couple weeks ago, we had someone who was on site flagging people away from our entrance, citing that they did not have access to our store. And that was devastating because we had 3 days of lost revenue.
The city says the construction here in Marda Loop should wrap up at the end of August or early September, with final walkthroughs and touch-ups happening through October. Meanwhile, 33rd Avenue, a block away from here, will be closed this weekend, but for a reason that the retailers like. It's the annual Mardi Gras Festival. Camilla?
Kevin, thank you so much. Let's bring in our Gina Martin with our first look at the weather. Active weather in the northwest, stormy.
Yeah, Panorama Hills just saw a system move through there, the same one that impacted the Cochrane area a little earlier this afternoon. In fact, there was a severe thunderstorm warning in effect for Cochrane at around 3:30 this afternoon today. Looking outside right now, though, doesn't look very stormy from this angle. We're sitting at 21 degrees currently. Managed to get to a high of 23 today, but we are under that severe thunderstorm watch for Calgary entirely, because we still have that potential maybe later tonight to see a couple of isolated thunderstorm cells move through. We'll track that in more detail in your full weather here, but your 24-hour forecast brought to you by 5th Avenue Volkswagen, where you can win your ride. See dealer for details or visit 5thavvw.com. Clearing overnight, but we could get another round of this active weather tomorrow afternoon. Camilla.
Thank you very much, Gina. Coming up, Banff is bursting at the seams with visitors. The Canada's Strong Pass proving to be almost too successful. Next, we hear from the town's mayor. And Albertans continue to answer the call for much-needed organ and tissue donors. And if you have a news tip, text us at 10400. Highway 40 is still closed in the south part of Kananaskis country after a mudslide on the long weekend. The washout happened Saturday afternoon between the Mount Lipset Day Use area and Mist Creek Day Use area. Crews arrived Saturday night to begin clearing the debris field, and the work continued today. Officials say debris, including rocks and trees, was as high as 2 meters and covered 60 meters of the highway. The ground has been broken at the new site for the Banff sign that welcomes visitors to the community. The entrance sign has been on Mount Norquay Road since 2017, but it became so popular with people wanting photographs, it led to traffic congestion and safety concerns. The sign will be moved to a green space at the Banff train station. The cost of the entire project, which will include a new gathering space with fire pits, benches, and lighting, is pegged at $12 million.
And our hope is that not only community members, but our visitors can come to Banff and they can do more than just take a selfie while they run back in their car that's parked illegally on the Norquay Road. Instead, they can stop, they can gather, they can get a cup of coffee or a hot chocolate for the kids and relax and enjoy.
A correction there, the project is pegged at $1.2 million. The Waters family's company holds the lease to the Banff Railway lands and will pay all costs to move the sign. The new location should be open to the public in October. Banff in the summer is always busy. This summer, the national park is seeing an increased volume of people thanks to the Canada Strong Pass. According to the town's mayor, year-to-date vehicle traffic is up 6%. The pass allows free admission to places operated by Parks Canada from June 20th to September 20th. Over the summer, the town recorded its single busiest day on record. While the town is thankful for the visitors, Mayor Corey DeMano says changes are needed for Banff to keep pace.
We do know that we cannot handle that volume of vehicles into the long term, so we need to continue to work with our provincial and federal partners to look at mass transit, whether it's bus or rail, one now, one later.
Banff is not the only extra busy national park. Over the long weekend, excess traffic was diverted away from Waterton Lakes National Park. And Gina is in once again. Northwest was the scene of the active weather. Has it moved around at all?
Yeah, and you know what? It's kind of just grazing the north right now, this current cell we're monitoring. That'll show you on radar satellite here in a moment. But there could be another system that aims more for Calgary as we progress throughout the supper hours here. Looking outside right now, though, it looks very sunny and clear, but on the other side of the camera is where you're seeing the bulk of the clouds and those heading our way. Temperatures, though, very nice today. Seasonal, right where we should be. So we're sitting at 21 at the airport right now, 22 over in Bray Creek, and 24 out in Strathmore. Get your daily dose of greens at Serenity Golf Club, just 20 minutes east of Calgary. So watches and warnings are in effect throughout parts of Alberta right now. Your storm outlook today shows Calgary in that moderate risk zone, all the way down to Lethbridge, really, in parts of the QE2 corridor there. So we could see localized rainfall, about 50 millimeters possible, hail up to 3 centimeters in diameter. And again, parts of the northwest did report some small pea-sized hail. Same in the Cochrane area that saw a cell move through a little earlier this afternoon. So again, severe thunderstorm watches in effect right now for Calgary and to many areas just to the north of us, skirting along Highway 2 there. This is our radar satellite right now, and I've added this surface high pressure system in because winds from high pressure, they like to go to where the low pressure is. And today, that's here in Saskatchewan, right along the U.S. border there. And this is a massive low pressure system, so it's really pulling a lot of the wind towards it right now, creating that convection as it goes from that high elevation of the mountains down into the foothills there. We're seeing a lot of these pulse thunderstorms currently. There's the one that was in Cochrane a little earlier today and then passed along parts of North Calgary. So what's next? I think potentially what's approaching Canmore right now has enough energy that it could drift into Calgary in the next couple of hours here. Otherwise, not sure if we'll get anything more severe than that. Our futurecast showing that, again, there's that little cell popping up right around 6:30, 7 o'clock in the north quadrants once again, but other areas of Calgary could be impacted by that storm as well. Clearing overnight and a nice start to Wednesday morning there, but we see another potential for some active weather tomorrow afternoon as well. Looks like a bit more of a lower risk, but still possible. And then clear on Thursday, but we do have a wet weather maker on the way, and you can see that in the regional forecast here. Mix of sun and cloud mostly for tomorrow and Thursday. And then a bulk of our area in the south here is seeing clouds move in and that rainfall as we get into Friday. We could see about 5 to 10 millimeters from that system. And then finally, the sunshine and those seasonal conditions, what we usually get for August, start to arrive on Saturday and Sunday.
Alberta recorded 35 new measles cases over the long weekend. 18 of the new cases were in the North Health Zone and 13 were in the South. Alberta has recorded just under 1,700 measles cases so far this year. Nearly 1,000 of those have been in the South. Alberta Health Services says our province's organ and tissue donation program reported a record number of donors last year. In 2024, there were a total of 317 deceased organ and/or tissue donors that led to 423 organs transplanted, saving hundreds of lives. This is the third consecutive year that donation rates have increased. AHS says one organ donor can save up to 8 lives, and a tissue donor can dramatically improve or sometimes save up to 75 lives. In Alberta, more than 500 people are waiting for life-saving transplants. You can register your intent to donate at givealifealberta.ca or at a motor vehicle registry office. Well, Calgary's airport was not spared when hail devastated parts of the city 1 year ago. And the work continues to bring Concourse B back online. Next, an update and a timeline. TSX closes in the green today to kick off the markets for the week. Joining me is Leanna Washniak, investment advisor with the Popwich-Kermally Advisory Group. So, Leanna, what else happened in the markets today?
Well, it was a bit of an interesting day, and we saw the two sides of the border diverge. Partly it was because this was the first trading day of our week. The U.S. market had a bit of time to catch up after the sell-off last week yesterday because their markets were open. We saw the same thing happen today, just pushed back a day later. So that was part of the reason we saw the two markets diverge. We also saw mining companies do quite well today, and various tech companies on the Canadian side of the border do better. So that was what helped push us further into the green. On the U.S. side of the border, we saw some disappointing economic data there, but that was somewhat counterbalanced by the fact that the markets are now predicting over a 90% chance of seeing the U.S. Fed actually cut interest rates in September.
Meantime, Canadian trade deficit widens while the U.S. trade deficit decreases. What's happening here?
Yeah, well, that was another area where we saw the two sides of the border diverge. The Canadian trade deficit widening to its second highest on record. It was in line with economist expectations. We did see a little bit more exporting to the U.S. happening and less to other countries. The U.S., on the other side, we saw their full trade deficit numbers. That's not just goods, but includes services as well. And that one was quite interesting for a number of reasons. Now, it was in line with just the goods numbers, but their gap with China has narrowed by 70% over the last 5 months. So you really see the impact of tariffs there on their trade balance with the rest of the world, particularly powers like China.
All right, Leanna, thank you so much.
Thank you.
Renovations continue on Concourse B at the Calgary Airport after a massive hailstorm caused considerable damage 1 year ago today. The airport authority says the work will include modern design and amenities in the concourse, originally built in 1976. It says there will be universal access, better sustainability, and more natural light. Contractors spent 7 months removing water-damaged infrastructure and original building materials. This summer, work began on 60,000 square feet of roof replacement. Inside, there will be new IT infrastructure, new security systems, and new heating, ventilation, and air conditioning systems. A graduated opening of Concourse B is expected to begin in 2027. And repair work for many residents of Northeast Calgary is also far from over. Many homes are still pockmarked with siding damage from the storm on August 5th of 2024. Crews are busy all over the area replacing shingles. The storm caused more than $3 billion in insured damage. We continue to learn more about a tragedy in a Calgary back alley. Here's Ian White with a look ahead to CTV News at 6.
Camilla, a one-year-old girl was struck by a pickup truck and died on Heritage Day. Coming up, we hear more from a devastated neighbor and from police. Also ahead, if you were at the Banff gondola between July 27th and the 30th, health officials advise you may have been exposed to measles. Camilla?
Ian, thank you so much. Before the paintings hit the wall, or the paint hits the wall, a unique conference to mark the official start of the Banff Festival. Contemporary Calgary hosting the Banff Urban Art Conference earlier today. It features a two-day discussion on how art can shape the urban landscape. Organizers say the two-day conference brings people from different walks of life together to engage in conversation.
It brings to the room designers, architects, policy wonks, right? Graffiti artists, musicians. So really people who are involved in public life and public play and public art from all different intersections.
Until August 18th, artists both locally and from Canada and as far as Morocco will be painting murals along sections of the Beltline. You can find out where and more details at yycbanff.ca. All right, it does feel like summer out there, but we are also experiencing some potential thunder showers, thunderstorm action throughout the afternoon, evening. 21 degrees, mostly cloudy. Gina has details next. Well, we know from this summer alone, when we start to see this action out there, it doesn't normally just go away. It lingers right in through the evening.
Yeah, exactly. And so we might experience a second wave of some thunderstorms a little later this evening. Things have calmed down a little bit. The first system tracked through earlier this show and between that 4 or 5 o'clock hour there mostly. But we're still seeing those thunderstorm watches in effect in yellow there for Calgary and to regions to the north of us. And you can see that storm cell I was just talking about starting to dissipate as it tracks more eastward, but more could be on the way, so we'll be tracking that in real time throughout the 6 o'clock hour show as well. We start to get a bit of a break on Wednesday with the storm, slight potential for one tomorrow, Camilla, and then of course more rain on tap by the end of the work week.
Not surprised. Gina, thanks so much. Well, we're getting into the behind-the-scenes look at the marvelous work that goes into the making of Disney's The Lion King musical. Now, the musical playing at the Jubilee for 3 weeks, and what makes The Lion King come to life are the incredible costumes and puppets, but it's no easy feat. One understudy we spoke to says it takes at least several weeks to learn the characters and the mechanics behind the puppetry, but success comes when audiences see the actors become one with these beautiful set pieces.
But in terms of a musical with both the diverse musicality that exists throughout with the South African-influenced music and Javanese and Balinese puppetry and physical work, I don't think there's anything quite like Lion King.
The Lion King runs until August 17th at the Jubilee Auditorium. I just did a check, rather. Tickets are still available, so you might want to catch this one before the summer wraps up. Thanks so much for joining us now. This is the early edition of the CTV National News.